CK.
That
That's
that
crazy.
that's what I was that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't like that. That was bad. They made a
And
mistake
then
doing that.
of all pay-per-view Survivor Series,
Right? Exactly. Not even like WrestleMania or the Rumble or SummerSlam.
right, right,
Yeah. That was crazy. That was crazy for real.
yeah, that
Did
kind of
not
said, well,
understand that one.
nah,
I
me
came
neither.
in late. I came in late to this one too because I was down. I had to reinstall my Cody app because I watch like all the major pay-per-views on Cody. So I had to
Hmm.
reinstall that. So by the time I got to the pay-per-view, it was the women's match was starting, and I came in on the part where I think this is before yeah, Rhea was the last one to come in for her team, and Liv Morgan
Right.
was the last to come in for her team. But that
Hmm.
match was good. I expected them to start that match off for the pay-per-view. Really enjoyed that match. There was a part in there's a part in that match that you had Naomi and Bianca. They both put Nia Jax through the table,
Right.
and Io, she did that move up. She did that move off the cage, the top of the cage. I'm trying to think. I seen her do that before. Was that at WrestleMania? She did that.
Uh, I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was uh yeah,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
it was somewhere she did that move. Well, it was either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Yeah,
Right.
and I seen her do that move before. I was like, yo, but off the steel, the top of the cage, and that was a good move.
Hmm.
Rhea came in with like a different looking type of mask. I
Right.
really enjoyed her mask, but she took it off, and you know she, she had to show her face so people know it was her, and she had like makeup on, and you know um she took care of Liv, and you know um did her finishing move through the table and won the match for her team. There was a point in the
Right.
match where you had Tiffany Stratton, where Tiffany Stratton she took out the briefcase from one of the dumpsters, and she was
Hmm.
deciding. You had Liv and Naya laid out on the floor, and I was like, yo, this is the perfect time to cash in the briefcase and pin Nia Jax for the SmackDown title. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
agree.
she was stalling, and then you have Io Sky come in with a fire extinguisher and took her out, so she never got a chance to cash in her briefcase. But I thought that was the perfect time for her to cash in and beat Nia for the title, but we didn't get that.
I
Maybe
agree.
we get that at Royal Rumble. I don't know, but
Maybe.
I think at some point she's gonna cash in and beat Nia Jax for the title, because I don't I think Rhea wants Liv, and I think people want to see that final showdown. But
Hmm. Hmm.
supposedly Io Sky is the number one contender on Raw, so we're gonna have Io Sky against Liv Morgan for the women's title. Um, I would assume for Rumble, maybe they'll do it for the Netflix premiere in January, but I did love that match. That women's match was awesome. What did you
Yeah,
think
that
about the
was.
match?
Um, the match was good. Don't get me wrong. It
Yeah,
started off a little slow, a little bit, just a little bit, but then it picked up. And I actually enjoyed it, for what it was. It was great. I loved it. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm a fan of all of them, so I thought Bailey had her issues with EO. Even after the
Hmm.
match when they were at the press conference, I think Bailey had said something smart to her, so they still got some tension going on. Being that
Yeah.
Bailey left Damage Control.
Hmm.
Naomi did her thing, Bianca did her thing. It's a shame we didn't get to see Jade. I know Jade is injured. They're saying Jade's gonna be injured for a while, and they might have
Right.
to. Bianca might have to forfeit over the women's tag titles. So I don't know what they plan on doing. Maybe they'll do a tournament for the women's tag titles, because they definitely need to step their game up in that division. But I know next week on Raw, on Monday Night Raw,
Hmm.
they said that we're getting the start of the women's tournament for the IC title that they just debuted. So that'll be fun. And then what was the next match? The second match was that was we just talked about it before we got on live.
Well, LA
LA
Knight
Knight,
and Shinsuke.
the U.S. title champion, he was facing Nakamura. I wasn't a fan of the match. Like I just thought it was boring. I actually left during the match to get some food. And when I came back, Shinsuke had pinned LA Knight. I didn't understand why LA Knight loses the title to Shinsuke. I don't think he deserved it.
Right.
Maybe they got bigger plans for Nakamura, but I just felt like Nakamura just came back. Like you bring him back, and then this is his first match back, and he beats LA Knight for the U.S. title. That makes no damn sense to me.
No, I agree because
What did you think?
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest with you. When I gave it the first 5 minutes, and then I ended up fast forwarding a little bit because it got a little bit too boring. And then Shinsuke, he
Yeah,
was pretty much
yeah, I
dominating the
didn't.
match. Which it
Mhm.
it was he was dominating the match, which was like, all right, it is what it is. And then I think I looked down on my phone or whatever because I was already bored with this match at this point. And then
Mhm.
next thing I knew, he won. I'm like, what? That didn't make no damn sense.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that. I don't. I think because LA Knight had such a, they were hyping him up when he first came in the when he first came up to SmackDown and Raw, and he had like a buzz when he had finally beaten Logan Paul for the title, and then it's like I felt like they didn't really give him any great feuds, and you
Uh,
put him up against Nakamura. Is Nakamura for pay per view, his first pay per view back since his injury or whatever, and he ends up winning. I just think they have to have something bigger planned for Nakamura now that he's champion. You know what I'm saying? It's just he can't just beat LA Knight and then y'all don't know what to do with him. I felt like they really didn't give him that real opportunity to win another world title. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, he's back now. What are y'all planning on doing with him now that he's the new US champion?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that match was boring. Did not like that match. Could care less who won. Honestly. The third match was the triple threat match with IC title for the IC title with Braun, and you had Sheamus, and you had who was the other guy?
I
I'm
forget his
forgetting.
name.
The dude that's in what's his name? Gunther's boy from Imperium. I forgot
Mm,
his name though, but yeah, that
yeah, I
that was a
did
pretty
too.
good match. I really didn't expect Braun to lose the championship. I mean, he just won the championship back from Jay Uso on Monday Night Raw a couple of
Hmm.
weeks ago. So I didn't really expect any title change in this. And Sheamus, he did his thing. The other dude from Imperium, he did his thing. And then the outcome of Braun ends up spearing Sheamus, and he pinned him for the win. That was decent, but I didn't really expect nothing major from that triple threat match. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I didn't expect nothing major either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know it was for the title. I didn't even know it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even like look. I didn't look all the matches up. I didn't know they were gonna be in the pay per view. But
Hmm.
Braun Baker,
Hmm.
I liked how he speared. I liked his spear and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
all three of them, they did their thing. They were, they put on a good show, but it wasn't nothing like to even brag about. It was just, it was just like pretty much a physical bout. So, that
Yeah.
was a pretty good match.
Hmm. That was good. I would like to see. I think I would like to see Braun and Sheamus again, like this time by themselves,
I
without the
agree.
Imperium member. Braun had a lot of great moves during the match. You know, I definitely think he's gonna be a big star. And he mentioned in the press conference, he mentioned about like he would love to fight Gunther for the title, you know, at some
Mm-hmm.
point if Gunther is still champion by then. But he's focused on, you know, being an IC champion again, and you know he's gonna be a great champion definitely. And
Right.
you know the fourth match you had Gunther and Damian. This is the rematch. Gunther lost at SummerSlam on the count of Finn Balor,
Mm-hmm.
and I really felt like Gunther had not Gunther. I really felt like Damian Priest had a chance in this match against Gunther, and you know we've seen them. You know they had run-ins on Monday Night Raw, and you know Damian really took it to Gunther. Like he was really focused this time. I think the first time out he really didn't know what he was getting himself into facing Gunther, and you know Gunther. We felt already that Gunther was going to be a great world title champion after holding the IC title for so long. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then him eventually losing that to Sami Zayn, which I thought was crazy. Like I didn't think Sami Zayn should have beaten him, but that's a whole different story.
Right.
But we going into SummerSlam, we already felt like Gunther was gonna win it. He did, you know. But the rematch, I felt like Damien had the upper hand, and he really had to, there was a point when Gunther had called Damien Priest street trash, which ironically is supposed to be the new name for the Judgment Day,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, supposedly. I don't know if they're gonna officially do the name change yet, but that's supposed to be the new name for that stable. And you had yeah, I felt like Damian Priest had the momentum going into this match, and he really showed out. He was good. There
Yeah.
was like a lot of close pins that he kicked out of, and I felt like he had the upper hand. Now I don't really necessarily know if he was gonna win the match and for the title, but I felt like it would have been close to the point where now Gunther got to look over his shoulder like, yo, like I gotta really watch out for this dude now because I didn't take him seriously at SummerSlam, but now I do. And
Mm-hmm.
I think down in the future, if Gunther is still the champion, that might be another possible matchup. Is
I agree.
you doing like a third match with Damian Priest and Gunther. So he did end up losing though, but he lost again on the account of Finn Balor.
Right.
Finn will not let this feud go. He told Damian Priest in the past that I'm gonna be there. Watch your back. You're not gonna know when I'm there, and when I'm there, it's gonna be too late. And that's what he did. And he came out of nowhere, and he caused Damian Priest to lose, and Gunther put the sleeper hold on him, and that was it. He retains his title, and I think we gotta have another match, like a final match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. It gotta be like a steel cage match or like some type of special stipulation match where they end a feud, and after that they both parties moved on. I mean, Damian Priest even said that he had moved on from the Judgment Day. He was done with them. His feud, as far as he was concerned, his feud was over. But Finn is like, nah, it's not over till I say it's over. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we're gonna see the repercussions of tonight's loss on Monday Night Raw. I expect Damian Priest to call out Finn Balor on the show. So we'll see what happens. But Gunther is still a champion. The last match now we got. What did you think about the match before we get to the last match?
That was actually pretty. That was pretty good. Um. Yeah. You know what? I didn't know. I didn't know either if Priest was going to win, but
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, I agree with you. They Priest and Ballard, they need to go at it one last time, and stuff like that
Yeah,
too. Um I feel like Priest, he's gonna be champion again. It's just a matter of time, matter of when.
I agree. I agree. Definitely, and he deserves it. Like, cause I watched him early on in his career over in NXT. He was an NXT champion. He had some
Hmm.
good feuds over there, and then coming up. 'Cause I felt like they were building him up slowly when he came up to the roster finally, and
Right.
and well, really. what really put him over with the fans was having the Judgment Day stable and making him and Rhea the captains of that stable after they got rid of Edge,
Mhm.
and bringing in
Yeah.
Finn, and I think that's really helped him out in the long run. And then and he was a heel, and then he goes from heel to face and leaving the Judgment Day and having the feud
Right.
with Finn and Tom, and I think this and then finally winning the championship at as WrestleMania 40, where he
Mhm.
cashed in, he won the Money in the Bank, and he cashed it in against Drew McIntyre, and I think
Yeah.
that really made him took him to another level. So I think I could definitely see him winning the world championship again in the future, and
Mhm.
maybe it'll be against Gunther, maybe it'll be against somebody else. The last match we have, yeah, he do the coup de grace. I forgot to say he did the coup de grace on Damian Priest outside of the ring, and then once Gunther got a hold of Damian Priest in the ring, he did the sleeper hold, and then it was lights out, and that's how
Right.
Gunther won. But this is
Yep.
the second time. This is the second time that Finn Balor has interfered with the world title match with Damian Priest. He did it at SummerSlam, and that's how Damian lost the title to Gunther, and then he did it
Exactly.
again tonight. So I think they're
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to have that final match that people want to see at some point.
Mhm.
If it's not at Saturday night's main event, then maybe a Rumble or something. I don't know. They might both be in the Rumble match. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
Um, the last match, of course, you got the Bloodline match. This is the match I've been waiting for. The
Mm.
Everybody's been waiting for
Mhm.
this. You got Roman's team, with the OTC Roman Reigns, and you had the Usos reuniting, Jay and Jimmy Uso. You had You had Sammy Uso, Zayn, and you had the fifth member, which was a surprise to me, CM Punk. Paul Heyman comes back and he
Right.
brings CM Punk with him on SmackDown last week, and I didn't expect CM Punk to be a fifth member. I really expected to be like I thought it was gonna be Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins even. I
Yeah,
know
that's what everybody thought.
Seth and Roman can't stand each other, and
Right.
a lot of yeah, Roman couldn't trust CM Punk. A lot of people didn't think it was gonna work, and he had his doubts about him even before they got into the ring tonight.
Mhm.
There was a point where they all were like in the cage together before they got to the actual ring. They were in a holding cage, and Roman had blocked CM Punk from going out there, and
Mhm.
and he wanted Sammy to go in front of him, and that was funny. And then when CM Punk finally goes in the ring, he bumps Roman from going before him, and so there was tension there. And they had that sit down. They had that sit down conversation on SmackDown on Friday night, and CM Punk is telling telling Roman that it's one time, and he's gonna Paul Heyman owes him a favor. We don't know what that favor is. I think the favor is gonna be at some point that Paul Heyman is gonna turn on Roman, and
Right.
he's gonna go align himself with CM Punk, but I don't know. I've only heard rumors about that, and
Mhm.
it could be a title shot. It could be maybe Roman. There's rumors that Roman is going to go to Netflix in January, and of course, he's going to be looking to win the world title. And maybe CM Punk is going to try to get his world title shot before Roman. So I think it's going to be one of those two things. And
Right.
you had the OTC, the original Bloodline crew against Solo Sikoa's Bloodline with Tom Toa and Tonga and Jacob Fatu, and you had Bronson Reed, and I think that was a great match. And you know Roman got was the one to get into the match last. He was the last one. Everybody else went ahead of him, and it was great. It was everything I expected. Usos did their thing. It was great to see them back together finally. Hopefully it's not
Mhm.
the last time we see them together. And I feel like they need, one last titles run. They definitely have it in them.
I
And
agree.
it was good. Bronson Reed did his thing. Jacob Fatu might have been the MVP for that whole match. He was taking out
Yeah.
people left and right. you know, um, he had a lot of good moves, and CM Punk, he did his thing in there. Everybody was great. It was a great match. You know, you had there was a point in the match where Bronson Reed had put Roman Reigns on the table, and he climbed up to the top. He was going to splash down on him, and then CM Punk had, you know, got him off of the table before it could happen. So he
Hmm.
saved him from that disaster, and then you know Roman had in turn did the same for CM Punk, and I think that's when they were both on the same page because they were feuding, and Paul Heyman had to come down to the ring and tell them like, yo, this is one time only. This is for to win war games. Y'all got to be on the same page, and that's what
Right.
they did, and I think it was one of the best war games matches ever. Definitely everything that I expected. I loved it. You know, Roman Reigns is a legend,
Mm.
and I think it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, what they do now with this story because now that Roman finally beat Solo and his team, where do they go now with this storyline? You know, you heard rumors leading up until tonight that The Rock was gonna show up. They said Seth Rollins was gonna show up, and we didn't get them. So what
No.
happens now? And what do you think about the match?
Oh, that match is easily the match of the night. There was one point in time where
Yeah,
um uh Roman Reigns actually he accidentally speared CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
yeah. I thought I'm like,
hmm
oh, here we go. Like they
here we go.
gonna
Yep.
yep. But once Roman Reigns was on the table and
hmm
CM Punk just saved him at the last minute, got him off the table and stuff. I said, oh yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
all right. Now they on the same now it's like, yep, they on the
On the
same
same page.
page and
Yeah.
stuff. So I liked how they I liked how they all of them cornered Solo Sokoa. Uh
Solo. Yeah,
yeah, Solo, yep.
that was good.
Uh yeah, they cornered him and every
Mhm.
two brothers they did the super kick and then Sami
Mhm.
Zayn and go to sleep and spear and all that stuff.
Yep.
That was a great way to end the match. I loved it. It was
Yeah.
definitely match of the night.
Definitely. I would have loved to see Roman get his necklace back. You know, the what was it, the foot, I forgot what they call it though. Um
Yeah,
but we didn't get that. I think at some point we'll have like maybe Roman and Solo go at it one more time for the necklace. And Roman will beat him and he'll get back his necklace and he'll be the true, well, we know he's already the true tribal chief, but without, I think that
right.
necklace gives him some type of power. The necklace gives him some
Yeah,
type of power. It's almost like when Paul Bearer used to have the urn for Undertaker. Like the urn was like
right.
Undertaker's power, and when he didn't have it, he
Exactly.
was like kind of weak. So I think once Roman get that necklace back, he'll regain his full tribal chief powers, and I think we're gonna get that match at some point.
I
But yeah, it was a
agree.
great match, and then at the end of the match, you have everybody hugging each other. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, shook hands finally, and that was a great moment when people didn't
Right.
didn't see that happening, and it ended off on a good note. I was expecting something to happen because I know when you see when CM Punk got out of the cage and he's hugging Paul Heyman and he's saying, I'm gonna ask for that favor, whatever that favor is. I think that's gonna be the big question going into Monday Night Raw on next week. Like what is the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk? And I think,
Right.
like I said earlier, I think it's gonna come down to CM Punk getting a title shot before Roman, maybe against Cody Rhodes or something, or it's gonna be Paul Heyman actually betraying Roman and standing by side with CM Punk. So we'll see what happens.
Hmm.
If I'm wrong, then somebody let me know what they think is gonna happen. But I think it's gonna be one of those two things. And it was great. It was like I said, like the best two matches to me was the men and women's War Games team up match, and that's what I expected. I didn't think any of the other matches were gonna be great. The triple
Right.
threat match with Braun and Sheamus and the dude from Imperium, it was okay, but again, it's not like something something that people was anticipating to see. The LA Knight and Nakamura match for the US title. I didn't care for that match.
Hmm.
I didn't think I think it was too soon for Nakamura to win that title back. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
and Gunther and Damien was good. That was a good match. I think Damien definitely showed out, even though he lost on the count of Finn
Hmm.
Balor doing the coup de grace on him. But I think that's gonna set up the match with Damian Priest and Finn Balor finally. That the final show. Oh, I don't want to say final showdown because you never know with WWE. They might have like a bunch of matches, but I think that's gonna we got to see Finn and Damian one on one. And I'm looking forward to that match. I've always been a Finn Balor fan. From
Hmm.
back from when he was in the Bullet Club and all that, and a
Right.
Damian Priest fan as well when he was in NXT and all that. So I'm looking forward to that feud when that happens. Maybe we get to see a Demon Finn at some point because he hasn't done that. He hasn't done that in a while. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, it's been a
I definitely
while.
would like to see. Yeah, I would definitely like to see Demon Finn come back and he's on a different level when he's in that character. But
I agree.
you know, I'm out of like maybe out of a 10, I'm gonna rank it like a 6. Like I said, like the best two matches was the two team up matches. The other matches other than the Gunther and Priest, I didn't care for those other matches, but I'm gonna give it a 6. It wasn't the best Survivor Series that we've seen. I actually think last year's Survivor Series was better. 'Cause that was
Right.
the Survivor Series that we got in Chicago with a CM Punk's return at the end. I think that was a better pay per view than this year's one.
Hmm.
So what do you give it?
I give it a 7.5. I
Uh,
mean, one, it didn't help much that in the beginning the fans was kind of like quiet, stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, the women's and then the women's and the men's, they pretty much carried this whole pay-per-view basically.
yeah,
Um,
uh-huh.
LA Knight, that was just that left a bad taste in my mouth. It was too soon for
Yeah.
Nakamura to get the
Too soon.
title because it's almost like
I agree.
because it's almost like it's if I don't know, like what happens after LA what happens to LA Knight now? Like what are you gonna do with them?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, do they put him in the running for the US I mean not the US title for the IC title? I don't know. I mean, he won his first title was the US title. What's next for him? Does he upgrade to the IC title or what I mean? So I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I don't
Yeah.
think he's ready yet for the world title. So it's like he's in the middle right now,
Right. So
you know.
yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do with him. I mean, um, yeah, the Sheamus match that was pretty solid. Um,
Yeah.
nothing to really too much brag about, but yeah,
Right.
definitely match of the night is the you know Roman's team and then Solo Sikora's team. That was definitely like the match of the night. So yeah,
Definitely.
I gave it a 7.5.
So okay. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of questions that still need to be answered. Like I said, like where did it go with the storyline with regarding the bloodline and what happens now is I know Solo's gonna be pissed off on SmackDown next week. He's gonna want
Right.
some revenge. What are they gonna do with
Hmm.
that? Supposedly the rumor is that I've been reading this week was that they're keeping Roman's team together. So it's not like we're gonna just see them for War Games and that was it. Like Sami Zayn
Hmm.
will be there with them and the Usos and Roman out. Now, how's that gonna affect Jay Uso as a singles wrestler? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're keeping that team together. So we're gonna definitely see more of the OG bloodline together. And I'm looking forward to see what's next. We didn't get The Rock tonight. I thought for sure The Rock was gonna come out at the end,
Hmm.
We didn't get that. Maybe so. I still feel like the Rock is gonna show up. I think maybe a Royal Rumble or the Netflix debut in January. We'll
I
definitely see
think
the
so at
Rock.
some point.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to be there. We didn't see Seth, and they supposedly they're saying that CM Punk joining Roman's team is going to set up the whole Seth and Punk feud because Seth and Roman can't stand each other. Seth chose
Right.
not to be on the team even when Sammy and Jay went to him, but CM Punk did. So that's going to set up their ongoing feud. So we didn't
Hmm.
get no Seth tonight. I thought for sure he was going to be there. So we're gonna see what happens on Monday Night Raw. What's next for the women's championship with Liv. I know Rhea wants to get Liv, but I almost forgot that Io Sky was the women's #1 contender. So she's the #1
Right.
contender, and she's gonna go after. She's gonna battle Liv for the title. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Maybe she beats Liv, and if she beats Liv, then that maybe that'll set up Rhea versus Io. I don't think we've
Hmm.
ever seen that feud before. I don't think they've ever fought. At least on the main stage. They might have fought a couple times on NXT, but we'll see what happens with that. Tiffany Stratton, she didn't cash in tonight against Naya. What's gonna happen with that? A lot of questions are going to be answered. What's next for Nakamura now that he's returned and he's the new IC champion. I mean US
Hmm.
champion. Being LA Knight. We'll see what happens with that. So I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown next week. And
Yeah.
this
Same.
was an okay Survivor Series. Um, Saturday night's main event. That's like the next big card in December. That's gonna be on NBC. So
Okay.
they got Cody. We ain't seen no Cody tonight. Cody's gonna be facing KO on the Saturday night's main event.
Right.
Randy Orton is out, so I'm not even looking forward to that matchup with Cody and Kevin Owens. I just feel like we already had that. Like what's next for Cody? What are they gonna do with Cody? Is he gonna be a part of this bloodline story again? What The Rock challenged them. Are we gonna get Rock and Cody at Mania 41? What's next for Cody?
We should. We you would think we should. They kind of teased it a
Yeah,
little bit. Just a
yeah,
bit smidge.
right. You know what I'm saying? And I think I want to see that as well as I know there's people that want to see The Rock and Roman, and I would like to see them go at it too. But it's like, are we gonna get another 2 night weekend where we have The Rock in two matches? Is he gonna do that again,
Right.
or are we just gonna have Rock and Roman or Rock against Cody for the championship? So it's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff coming up in the next few months. You got Royal Rumble next year. You got the Netflix premiere in the start of January. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of great stuff coming down the pike. And tonight wasn't a great pay-per-view except for the two
Hmm.
the 2 or 3 matches that we mentioned. But
Right.
they didn't disappoint me. I expected both matches to be great, and that's just what they gave us. And just for
Exactly.
that alone, just for those 2 matches alone, it was good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't great, but those are the best matches of the night. And like I said, like I'm looking forward to Monday Night Raw and see what happens in SmackDown next week. So before we leave, Mac, what you got coming up? What's next on your channel? Let us know.
All right. So what's coming up next on my channel? I do have some movies I'm gonna show off, so I'm gonna show off those. Also, go to Walmart. Do my every other week Walmart Tuesday new release,
Nice.
and that's most as of right now. That's probably gonna be it because I'm focusing on moving my stuff because I'm moving to California within the
Oh yeah, you're
next.
moving, right?
Yep, within the next couple weeks. So I'll be out here 2 weeks from today.
Nice.
So
That's
I'm
what's up,
taking
man.
yeah. So I'm taking a hiatus from any um post any like videos and stuff like that. So until I get settled in.
Nice. Safe travels, and I hope you enjoy yourself out there, and let us know when you finally get back to doing live streams and stuff. So
Oh yeah, most definitely.
you know, next up for me, I got some stuff coming up in December. Before the end of the year on the channel. Stay tuned for that. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And tomorrow, me and Reg is gonna be doing a review on the new Linkin Park album that came out last week. Looking
Oh,
forward to
nice.
that. I do like the album, but I got some issues with that album as well. That I didn't like what they were doing, but we're gonna talk about it. I think that's gonna be like in the afternoon. We're doing that one, and we got like
Okay.
a lot of great stuff coming up for the first week of December. We got like the 1994 rap um things rap tournament battle we doing with like the best 94 rap albums. So I gotta hit up some people to join us for that one. That's gonna be a special one. And yeah, we got a lot of great stuff coming before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, Mike, as always, for doing these wrestling pay-per-view reviews with me. It's been
Oh
fun.
yeah, no problem. No problem.
I definitely want to get I want to get the wrestling junkies on here at some point. I know they don't really like doing live streams, but like we have like a group chat
Hmm.
called the Wrestling Junkies, and it's like a lot of us in the group chat, and we were in the group chat tonight, watching the pay-per-view. But I got at some point for the new year, I got to get them on here so we could chop it up and talk wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
we
that's.
usually do our stuff on Instagram Live, but I want to get them on.
Hmm.
I want to get them on the YouTube channel. So
Yeah,
shout
that's
out to
what's up.
them. And yeah, yeah. So I think you would like them too, man, because we all love old school wrestling, and we stay in tune with what's going on now in wrestling, and not just WWE, but as well as AEW and TNA and all that. So
Yeah,
I got to get them on here for the new year. But definitely looking forward to that, and stay tuned. Saying that's gonna be it for tonight. Danny Rap Podcast is Tribal and Mike from Mike's Movie Corner and more. Subscribe to our channels. We'll see you all later. Peace.
peace out.